Say hi.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to the table. This is our first session, a pre-session. I have no idea what to call it. This is our session 0 for our new campaign, the first campaign that we are streaming and doing as Table's Edge. So excited. I was thinking, friends and foes of mine. I'm not going to explain who the foes are. That we maybe, I don't know, do we introduce ourselves this time so we don't have to in the future? Like a quick how do you do? So it's
Sure.
up there on the video hosting platforms.
Let's do it.
Sure. Who's at the top? Oh, Eve, you're at the top on the stream, so why don't you go first?
I did that purposefully. No, that's a joke. But hello, guys. My name's Eve. I am 22 years old. I've been playing D&D for a bit more than 2 years. And one my character flaw is that I forget everything about me when someone asks me to talk about myself. So
Yeah.
this is it. This is all you get.
My name?
Yes. Self-reflection is very tough. And very, very quickly, not even a description, but just maybe like your character's name. Like, who are you playing today?
Oh, my character. This I can tell you all about her. So my character's name.
Please don't.
Okay.
Please don't. Just hit. We'll get there. We'll get there. But
My character's name is Ria Wen. She is a 30 years old tiefling, and she's very gay.
We'd love to see it.
on a level of 1 to 10.
A good 23, I would say.
She's, yeah.
Off the charts.
Andre, you are next.
Hello. My name is Andre. I'm 102 years old, and I'm a professional wine sommelier. I do private sessions as well, so hit me up. I will be playing a 28-year-old gentleman by the name of Vogwai. He is a satyr, and he is an aspiring chef.
Yes, Andre helps me get to all the $12 true vintages that I tend to drink. It's that high-class stuff. Free
recommendation, Novinophobia, $11.99. That's your sweet spot right there.
Michael.
Hi, I'm Mike. I don't drink. I'm a 32-year-old elementary school teacher, and I'm ready to play my character, whose name is a young elf named Mina.
And my name is Matt Aspiel. I am the DM for this campaign. I play a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, and I do teaching, and I'm ready to start. How about you all?
Unbelievable.
So
I'm
ready.
not ready, but I'll get there.
I've been ready like 3 months ago.
I have an introductory spiel for you. So
Beautiful.
maybe by the end of that, you'll be in it.
Let's feast our ears.
Feast indeed. And what a feast it is. Because here, in Grunion Run, this small agrarian community in the city of Parsa, it is our annual farmers festival, not a farmers market, a whole freaking festival. By far the busiest time of year in this small little community. As you look around, carts set up and down the tracks of the donkey-pulled trolley with the half-orc trolley driver, not really willing to fully stop because the donkeys don't tend to move, so people literally have to jump on and off as they go up and down, to the different vendors and carts that are there. Every once in a while you see these fairly dilapidated, abandoned buildings, set to be demolished, but haven't quite been torn down yet, although many of the space has been cleared to make the farms that are thither and yon. Animal pens set up, kids coming up and petting them while the parents look and attempt to buy for slaughter. You look out on this beautiful day across this beautiful, glassy lake in the distance. And right near the main fountain in Grunion Run, there's been a large stage constructed. You have to be fairly close to the stage to hear the singer and whatever performances are going on. But this is our setup. Now, for those people watching, all of our players today are playing level 0 characters. We got some commoners around today. So pretty much everything we do is just a straight d20 roll. You gotta love the chaos. The first thing I want you all to do is roll initiative, and we'll see who's going first.
Oh, jeez.
Or, you know.
All
Maybe.
right. Yes.
Oh!
What a way to start. Waste them now, people. Waste them now.
Wow.
Riowen.
That
It is a beautiful, clear, gorgeous day. A little bit of morning dew still on the grass that's now being trampled by many, many feet. The smells of fresh cooked foods and some animal manure wafting through the air. What are you doing at the start of this festival?
I'm looking for Frank. You see, Frank hasn't been paying what he should be paying. So where can I find Frank?
I have no idea who Frank is. You just created him.
Yeah, but like,
This is
you're supposed to play along.
Play along.
As and Matt,
improvise.
he's at the bar, of course. What else would that motherfucker be at this time? At the bar again. Yeah, a widow comes out of our house and starts yelling about how Frank isn't home right now. He should be home with his family.
I don't know. Frank
You can-
is like a local shop owner.
Sure. And what a day to be squeezing him for protection before he drinks all of his money away.
Exactly.
Roll an investigation check. Let's see if you can find Frank.
So straight D20. No.
Where are you looking? Like, what part of the festival, what part of the run? It's a pretty large area.
I'm hoping he'd be like around the market section, selling his produce or something, or like near the bars.
You kind of go up and down. You go up and down the side. I think jumping on the trolley as like this orchestra driver looks over at you, flagrant mouth tusk, kind of scowling at you, and he just goes, "You're either gonna get on or get off. You can't be staying here like that. It's dangerous."
Dangerous. I'll take care of my own skin, thank you. And I get off.
And looking around, kind of pushing through people, kind of going up and down. You don't see Frank anywhere. It's just too crowded now, especially because with the trolley going by, people really move out of the way as they kind of crowd along the sides. But you haven't seen him yet. You haven't spotted him.
Fucking Frank. The boss is gonna be pissed. Fuck it. And I make my way towards the drink stand, bar, I don't know what's there, but anything that has alcohol, booze.
Yeah, give us a little as you're walking over to the bar to go get. I don't even think it's a seat. I think it's just a standing bar. They're not wanting even sitting down, get your drink and move on, right? Give us a little bit of visual of what Riowen looks like.
My beloved Riowen. I have a big fat gay crush on her. I'm not gonna lie. Riowen is, I would say, a bit of average height. Let's say 5'7", 5'9", 5'8", I mean. Sorry. She has dark crimson skin, and even her frizzy hair is even darker, but still in the shades of red. What's most noticeable about them, though, is the shade of their eyes. They look like pearls, red pearls. They don't have a sclera, they don't have pupils, and the hue of them just change depending on the light. Riowen also wears their tail on her shoulders. like a snake, you know. And she'll often like flail it around just because she's kind of sassy. And she has long black stiletto nails. And yeah, I think that's them.
You make your way over to the bar, kind of like turning sideways so you're not bumping into people. And when you get up there, you immediately get the eye of the bartender. This young man, and this is like an outdoor, like just set up for the day kind of bar. And he's just got casks of ale behind him and very little space to move, and he's running up and down this bar that was set up at about 10 feet, which is a lot of bar on a busy day like this for this one guy to be doing. But you immediately get his attention as, we're gonna call him Greg, the bartender, comes over to you. Just, good day, miss. What can I get for you?
A pint, please.
Sure. Ale, mead, we got options today. They gave me options.
Anything special? Big occasion today.
Yeah. I guess we got the special lager. Special because it's almost gone. That's pretty special.
Sure, give me one of that.
All right. You notice he has like 3 different casts going at a time, and like just turn them off, and like not giving most people the time of day, but like really spending time having a conversation with you, and leaves a few other drinks sitting there on the back. People go, "Hey, that one's mine!" As he comes over and hands you yours. There you are, miss.
And as he like turns around to go see another client at the other end of the bar, I kind of just like grab him by the wrist.
Yeah.
Apologies. Know anyone by the name of Frank?
Frank the grocer?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I know Frank. Let me roll a d20 to know if I know where he is at all.
Surely he's at the grocery store, no?
Frank, sorry, Miss Weirwin. I did not see where he set up his shop today.
Useless. And I leave with my drink.
As you turn back around, surveying the rest of the day's events, who is next on the docket? Mina, I think, was next with a 16, right?
You would see coming down this street, wearing a simple tunic, like maybe like a little apron over it, is a short, about 4'11", wood half elf, like nut brown skin. She has no hair on her head. She has like eyebrows. She has no hair, and she is like pushing. Can you guys get the music back on? Sorry, I was really vibing with that.
It was a vibe.
I was gonna switch the music. I was waiting for.
Okay, let's give me another sec of this, but then yeah, just to vibe with. So she's pushing an enormous pumpkin down the down the center field, down the thoroughfare, down the main street, and she's kind of taking breaks as she's going. She's like pushing it, and then she's like stopping and like just like catching her breath, and then she's just doing this, and it's moving like one pumpkin unit per. So it's taking her a while to get this thing to where it needs to go.
Yeah, you're like sweating, in the morning coolness, but working hard as you walk around, and people just kind of like trying not to make eye contact, making a good, keeping good distance from your pumpkin. You're not in danger of rolling over anyone's toes today. And you still have a while to go until you get to if what you're trying to do is bring this to where they're going to maybe judge the pumpkins for the day, you still have a little ways to get there, unless you're trying to go somewhere else.
Okay, I will set the pumpkin on the side. Just roll it to the side of the road, and I will stick my finger in like the dirt or the mud, and I'll just write "Do not touch" on the pumpkin, and I'll say, and I put I set a little caterpillar down on top of the pumpkin, and I say, "You must watch the pumpkin for me." And I will walk across the street to this drink stand and go up to the bar.
Yeah.
As I'm parched.
Yeah, and I think Rio one has to like turn to the side a little bit as this person almost walks into her to get to the drink stand. Tell us what Mina looks like.
So Mina has like, she's very slight, like I said, short, narrow, big, kind of like pointy elven ears coming out of that head. Looks like it might have been like the hair might have been singed off at some point, and she has like a slight like nose, and then like almost like a kind of paint or woad covering most of her face. And she comes into the bar and says, "One of your finest juice, please."
I think.
Mina just.
Go
go ahead.
ahead.
I was saying, Mina does not immediately get the attention of this bartender, and I think you order it to nobody, and he is like ignoring you as he's like running up and down.
I'll just like quietly fold my hands and just wait there, just like just standing there.
I think as Mina asks for juice, you hear Ryuan's laugh next to you, and they nudge you and they say, "Juice, really?"
Do you know if they have moonberry juice?
My, what a precious thing you are, darling. I think
Sorry.
only alcohol here.
Oh, well, it's nice to meet you. I'm Mina. What's your name?
Alvarez, and she gives you like a head bow kind of thing.
Try again.
Oh!
Wrong campaign. Reverse.
Ryuan, and she gives you a polite head bow.
And Mina's kind of like, she's kind of like not like kind of spacey. She's not really focused on you. Like she's like kind of looking just like around, and she's like, "It's nice to meet you. Are you going to the festival today?"
She kind of she ignores your question. Greg, your sweetest ale, please.
A sweet ale.
The sweetest.
Yes, Grieg, your sweetest ale.
Sure. Okay. And he kind of goes over. This one's sweet. It's not really an ale. It's a mead, though. It definitely is on the sweet side.
I, as you, don't know the difference. So yeah.
And as he comes over and like puts it in front of you, he says, "Just like you, dear," and winks.
And I think she leans over the cup and kind of crinkles her nose, and it smells lovely. It smells like honey.
Yeah, made from the finest honey, right here in the run.
I've never had honey juice before. This is the most wonderful day.
Well, when you finish that honey juice, come back here. I'll fill you up.
Okay, thank you, Grieg.
It is 1 copper piece today.
Oh, do you have any money?
Greg,
Yes, Miss Ruin.
remember how Joe's field mysteriously burned last week?
Don't. Crazy happening. Don't worry about it, darling. You come back here. You get filled. Oh, it's all on her face. All right.
That's really wow.
Ryuan gives you like a big pat on the back. So,
I will
how's
take
that taste?
one more of the juice, honey juice.
I'll just give you 2, so you're set up.
So you like it? I
Thank
take
you.
it.
It's very good. Yes. I'm sorry. I'll pay you back as soon as I take my pumpkin to market.
Pay me back, darling. It didn't cost me a single thing.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
What are you doing around here? You don't seem to fit the aesthetic of the run. Let's just say.
I have to get that pumpkin to the festival so they can. It's our prize pumpkin this year, and I just was hoping I could fetch a good price for it.
So you're a farmer.
Yes. My mother will be angry if I don't get a good price for it.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to make your mother angry now, would I? And I'll walk
kind
towards. I'll walk towards the pumpkin.
It's okay, she's a friend, I say to the caterpillar sitting on the pumpkin.
Oh, actually, what kind is that? Asking like about the caterpillar.
It's green, I think. It's a green caterpillar.
Do you know how old it is?
No, I've never thought to ask it. How old are you?
It continues to be a caterpillar.
I think he's a baby.
Huh. Well, keep it on your shoulder or something.
Want to help me push the pumpkin? Please?
I was already planning on. Yes.
I'm feeling a little dizzy. I think that
Right.
keep putting that
go.
juice.
Let's go ask dear old Mama to get you some water. Yes.
No, I can't go back until I sell this pumpkin. It has to be it must be judged.
All right. Let's go get the pumpkin judged fast.
Thank you. You're like my best friend now.
Okay, a bit too fast.
Vogue.
Yeah.
I'm going to place you right in front of the stage. Whether you're there listening or you're walking by to a different area, this is right between like the main like thoroughfare of where everything is being like all the stands are, and then the other way is like where all like they're judging all the things. They have the pen set up for the animals and everything. But you are right next to the stage, and as you look up, there is a tabaxi woman there on stage, giving her performance. Stark, like snowball white and very poofy, and this like pink frilly kind of dress, and right out of the back of the dress there's a hole that her big poofy tail sticks out of as it just sways as she's just sitting there singing a mare's eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy, you would eat ivy too, wouldn't you? But what is you doing right now?
So Vogue stopped here because he heard wonderful singing from a beautifully furred cat woman. But what he was up to before that is looking for buyers for the caramel cockroaches that he's got for sale. So he has a board in front of him that has a shoulder strap to help him hold it up. And on little skewer sticks are caramelized cockroaches. Caramel cockroaches, come get your roaches. Some got nuts, some don't, if you don't like those. And he's trying his best to sell his wares, but he took a quick pause, listened to the music, and though he's smiling and appears to be fairly happy, his eyes are darting back and forth looking for someone who's got cash.
Yeah, roll a persuasion check as you continue to hear. Like, I feel like you're like the hot dog vendor at a baseball game. As in the background you're hearing, and if the words sound queer and funny to your ear, a little bit jumbled in jivey, sing mares eat oats and does eat oats and little lambs eat ivy. Mares eat oats and does eat oats. She continues to go on, and you are not finding anyone with the sophisticated palate to want your caramel covered cucarachas.
These damn Philistines. All they want is apples and pies and pastries. No one wants to eat insects anymore. I'm starting to get frustrated and fed up. I might look for more fertile ground elsewhere.
Yeah, you kind of turn to leave as you hear from the stage the barker, this this man pretty well known around this part of town where I believe you're from, so you would recognize Laz Gold as he's on stage saying, "Oh yeah, that was wonderful. So good. Everybody give it up for Miss Lana Shazan." And as you turn around, you see a strange thing. You see a half-elf girl and a red tiefling woman pushing a really big pumpkin down the middle of a thoroughfare.
So seeing this, my fake salesman grin turns into an actual one because I do recognize my good friend Rhea, who occasionally dances on the sands, but today is pushing a pumpkin. And so Vogue is a satyr. I think I forgot to mention. He's a fairly girthy, thick lad. He definitely loves to indulge in a bit of food more often than not. He's got his goat horns that kind of curl back. He wears his hair long and it's kind of black, oily, and very curly, and it's about shoulder length. He wears tight-fitting blue cotton trousers that are only calf length, so you can see that he's got his black-furred, goat-hooved feet down below. And he wears his customary leather apron with a big pouch, and that's kind of his getup in this weather, with his white shirt sleeves rolled up to the elbow. And as he sees Rhea pushing a pumpkin, he decides, you know what, these cockroaches aren't selling, so he kind of scoops them all up. Better eat them than waste them, I suppose, and just crunches all 8 skewers immediately with his big bovine molars as he chews them and tosses his tray away and dashes clip-clopping towards Rhea and this unknown small elf.
Yeah, as you start making your way, this small halfling child, so very, very small being a halfling child, says, Mama, the goat man ate a bunch of bugs. And she says, don't be a judgmental little shit, and just slaps him in the back of the head as they continue to walk past. As you make your way to your friend.
As I see him coming, like running at us, I hide behind the pumpkin.
Riwen kind of doesn't understand why Mina's hiding all of a sudden, so she looks around, and they see her good friends, Vogue. So she stops pushing the pumpkin and leans on it, like all cool, like they're pretty cool. and she goes, "Hi, you sold them all."
I sure did. I spent all the money though. So many nice things to buy. What are you doing with this pumpkin here?
Well, there was a lady with it, but
Do you know him? Is he a friend of yours?
And Rhea leans towards Mina and she starts whispering. She goes, "I don't know him. I think he might be dangerous, really."
He looks like he could really push a pumpkin. Can you ask him if he'll help us?
Don't you think his horns would get in the way?
Hi!
And I'll pop
Rhea
behind.
has horns herself, by
Hi.
the way. Like, that's the joke.
Hello there.
Hi. What's your name?
Name's Vogue. Vogue for long.
Hi, Vogue. You look like you're really strong. Could you help me get this pumpkin to the festival?
See, I might look that way, but truth is, I'm quite weak. But I'll give it a shot.
We can all push it together.
No, my good friend Vogue here has it settled. I'm not worried. And
Let me give it a try here.
Sure, roll an athletics check.
I'll do the thing that bulls do with their hoof in the dirt at a rodeo, and limber up. Athletics, you say?
Athletics, indeed. It's different than all the other rolls.
we
being just
wasted
a
our
straight
good
D-
rolls, and now they're shit.
Then I wrap my meaty fingers around this pumpkin and try to lift.
And it doesn't move. It goes and just falls right back. Yeah, Mina was doing much better pushing it
Oi.
on her load.
Wow,
This is
way
the
to
biggest
impress a
pumpkin
lady.
I've seen.
I'll help you.
And I'm gonna grab his hands, and I'm gonna just gently push them on the top of the pumpkin. It's all about rolling it like a wheel, you know? Practically, you roll it. Top of the pumpkin goes forward, and I'll yell, "The pumpkin pushers have arrived!"
Riwen stopped pushing the pumpkin, and she's slow walking behind you guys, and they go like, "Yeah, pumpkin pushers."
Suppose it's better than cockroach pushers.
You
Really? Name the pumpkin. Usually the ones that have names do better in the competition.
We have to name the pumpkin,
You should name the pumpkin, yes.
but it's your pumpkin.
But you're my friend now, so do you want to name it?
Mina, we wouldn't do it justice. You seem to have this emotional attachment to it that we really don't.
Okay. I'll think on it then. I need some time.
If you
Before I
want, we
can-
can give you feedback for it. If it's a shitty name, I'll tell you.
Do you think that if I named it Orange? Friend?
Isn't that a different type of fruit?
Okay, fair point.
What if,
I'm going to
what
name
if
it.
you threw the other participants in for a loop, right? And you
Yes.
named your orange pumpkin purple.
I think purple is a fine name for this pumpkin.
I agree.
There we go.
The pumpkin pusher's pushing the purple pumpkin.
Purple pumpkin.
No, orange pumpkin.
Yes.
You know what I meant.
Come on, Vogue, push harder.
I'm so glad it took almost no time for you guys to have your team name for this campaign set up. The Pumpkin Pushers push purple. Now past all of the pig, it might get some animal, leavings stuck on it at different points as you're pushing it past where the animal pens are, beyond to where they are judging the different, vegetables. You see a zucchini the size of a man's leg. You see a tomato bigger than your head. And as you get to the pumpkin section, you see some decent-sized pumpkins. Some of them certainly smaller than Mina's pumpkin. And you see one pumpkin, though, that is on a wagon that everything has been taken off of, so it's kind of like a flatbed. And it is spilling over the sides of it. You're looking at it. Looking at it, it actually, the way it grew around this wagon, you assume that they actually planted it on top of it, and it just grew that way. They never even would have been able to pick it up and get it there. But this freakishly huge pumpkin is there, and the only spaces left to put your pumpkin, Mina, is right next to that one, because those are the spaces nobody wanted to take.
I reach down and I put my hands on the side of both sides of the pumpkin. I put my forehead to it and I say, "You got this. I believe in you. I believe in you." And I'll nudge the pumpkin right there, and I'll stand proudly beside it, waiting to be judged.
Mina, please take a point of inspiration that can only be used for pumpkin-related matters. Any pumpkin-related matter, but
I will take my pep talk, my pumpkin pep inspiration.
Do I see what's his face? I forgot the name of him. Greg?
Yeah, give me a perception check as Frank, who you definitely named yourself. So as you're moving and you're keeping an eye out for Frank.
11?
With an 11, you didn't realize Frank is actually, it seems, one of the judges for this competition. Currently, he's not looking, they're walking around with clipboards. There's a couple of them together. They are not looking at the pumpkins right now. They are looking at the peas, which are being judged by how many peas are in the pod. It's actually not size or girth, unless you get a tie, but strict number is.
Yeah.
It seems to be the winner of the day, as long pea pods. It's like that guy from Ripley's Believe It or Not with the big fingernails, but they're pea pods. As he's walking around judging those.
Rena, should we sabotage this big pumpkin?
I think Mina's singing to the pumpkin. She's like, "You are beautiful, little pumpkin, and I love you." No. But the judges are going to be quite cruel. They usually are very mean to us. So don't expect anything good.
For them to come over.
Okay. You watch as they have very intricate, in-depth discussions about the intricacies of peas and pods. And they turn and they're looking there, and you hear Frank speaking and saying, "Well, my goodness, look at this pumpkin. This thing is enormous. Look at beautiful. Look at the coloration on it, and what they call them, the bumpies on the side. I don't even know. But look at the bump. It's so bumpy."
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you for the compliment about my pumpkin.
I was talking about the big one.
Oh.
Oh, is that a pumpkin over there? Let me see.
Yes.
Let me take. Oh. Well, fine day, Miss Riowen. Good to see you.
I think Riowen is standing like how do you say it when you're I want to say your legs are spread, but they're just wide, right?
Sure.
When you're standing
Feet
up,
planted, shoulder width.
And she's like this, and I think her tail is whipping around behind her, and she kind of goes like,
Vogue just like
yes.
threateningly leans against the pumpkin with one of his feet kicking dirt and his horns kind of like.
Yeah. Well, yes. Well, mighty fine specimen of this here orange vegetable you have, for certain. Yeah, got quite a luster to it. Is that an insect? Is it infested?
Yeah.
Where?
You said it had a luster. They've never said anything nice to me before.
Can I try to grab the insect that's being mentioned here?
Sure, yeah. Vogue goes down and grabs your caterpillar, Mina, off of the top of the pumpkin.
No, wait. Don't eat him.
What? Why not? You want it?
Yes, he was my only friend before I met you two.
This caterpillar?
Yes.
Rio
Thank
is
you.
still
For-
busy, like, giving killer eyes to Frank.
Thank you. My mother and I grew it on our farm. I'm Mina. I hope you'll consider me for the top leadership winner of the Circle Pumpkin Festival competition.
Yes, Frank, I hope you consider her as a winner and add some money to the prize
The-
fund.
Very strict competition this day. Please give me an intimidation check.
I usually have
Which
modifiers
one?
on that. God
You know-
dang it!
The thing is, you don't though today. You don't have anything.
Okay. Okay, guys. I
Was
wish I could.
Mina's comment helpful at all to earn advantage on the roll?
Well, it actually might have given
But
disadvantage.
Vogue is
so
standing
we're gonna
there menacingly to help me.
so
We're
advantage and
canceled.
disadvantage cancel each other out and became a straight roll. For what's happening behind the scenes.
17!
Well, of course, stiff competition. This, look at all the people. Look at all the people around. It's so lively here out in
It's
the
so
open.
lovely. It's so lovely
Okay.
here with all the people around.
Lovely, yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes. I really must be going on. Oh my goodness! Look at those eggplant. Whew, looks like a.
Just before he leaves, Riowin kind of like struts up to his shoulder and she kind of leans over it. She goes,
So close.
I found you once, I'll find you again. And she
well.
lets go.
Of course, Miss Rio. We have business to, but that's better left to another day. Yes, we have what are festivities today, and yeah. This
You
is
know
a
where to
pain.
send the money, Frank. And she walks away.
Yeah.
Thank you for not eating Timothy.
You're welcome.
You could have very easily eaten him. And I appreciate you that you didn't.
Yes, you asked me not to.
Do you like to... Do you grow things? Are you a farmer?
Well, I prefer to eat, and because I like to eat, I like to cook.
Speaking of which, you're supposed to cook dinner tonight, you know? It's your turn.
Oh. Damn, I ate all the cockroaches, unfortunately.
So you'll cook something else.
If I
Maybe
must.
once we sell my pumpkin, I can buy you both dinner as a thank you.
Now that would be lovely.
Hey, it's a day of festivities. I won't say no.
Yeah. It's still very early. They're not going to announce the winners until the afternoon. So the day is yours. This beautiful festival day. What would you like to do? There's a whole festival. There's the water. You could go down to the water side. You could look for more caterpillars. I don't want to
do I see
box you in
any?
at all.
Do I see any of my business partners hanging around?
Yeah, make a perception check
A 12.
for that as well. A 12. You noticed some people kind of back up a little bit, like around the animals. You noticed. Actually, your boss was over there. He is pretty big into animals. He's a big animal lover. So you could certainly find him. It'd be on the way to go to other stuff anyway, actually.
No, I don't. I don't want to talk to my boss. It's my day
Yeah.
off.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Do you want to go down to the lake and we can maybe go for a swim? It's a hot day out there. I'm sweating from the pumpkin situation.
Great idea. It's been a
Pushing
while since I've bathed.
3 hours.
Oh my god.
Okay. Do you want to go down to? There's a nice spot by where Auntie Lane used to be. If you want to go there.
Sure. Sounds like you know the right swimming hole.
I start skipping towards the water.
Yeah, you're pretty close at this point. The kind of like judging part of this fair is the closest to the water. You kind of skip your way down. Not terribly busy. Still people here. Mostly goblins actually walking around as they are.
The trolley
not necess-
going down, that's like the trolley on my way, or would that be a different part of it?
No, that'd be you're
Okay.
moving away from where the trolley.
Okay,
The trolley's
cool.
like the main
Just checking.
thoroughfare.
Wasn't
Yep.
sure, yeah.
It does go like the length of it, but down by the water, it doesn't quite get that far.
As Mina skips off, can I take a quick sec to talk to Rhea?
Yeah.
Please do.
So, what's your plan for this one? Wait for her to get paid and then take it?
Oh my. No, those were not my plans at all, truth be told. No, I ran into her at the bar and I thought, she looked cute.
Oh, those plans. Okay. I'll switch to my wingman hat then.
Alright, don't embarrass me now, please.
Oh, I'll only embarrass myself, you trust me.
What about you?
Well, gonna need some cash soon.
How about you stop stressing about that for today? I'll take care of it.
Alright, I'll give it a shot.
And I'll start following Mina.
Down by the water, again, just moving by with some goblins, some of the goblin aunties walking by, just going past you, Mina, go, how do you do? And just making their way, continuing on. Only one single lonely boat out there in the water, as Willie Grunion. You can hear this old man spewing some curse words about the fact that the fish aren't quite biting as he hauls up a net, going, too damn light! From very far away out.
As I see him across the Willie! Willie!
Hey! Who that?
It's Mina! Can I come aboard?
Beaver?
Beaver. Neither. Beaver. Mina. Mina. Do you think, do you mind if a couple of my friends come hang out?
Ryu leans
Small boat!
Ryu leans towards Vogue and they say, I can't. I've extracted money from him way too often. I cannot.
Ooh, that'll be an awkward one.
Yep.
Mina, listen, you see, I'm quite a hefty fella. I'm afraid I'd sink the gentleman's boat. Why don't we go off over here, further from this guy?
There are some very interesting frogs over there. That's a great idea.
Ooh, that's an idea. Maybe we'll have frogs for dinner, Rhea. Come on.
Yeah! Frogs for dinner.
You head down to the old docks where Auntie Land used to be. There's still some shacks set up where some of the goblins still live. In fact, one of your parents still lives in this area. And if you wanted to see if they're around, you could certainly make a perception check for that as well.
Absolutely! Let me see if mine, dog.
Nothing of the long, big complex that has now been taken down.
So for those who maybe have not yet watched our Kingdom game, can we explain what is Auntie Land and what happened to it? Maybe?
Please.
Yeah, I think it was just it was like a big boardwalk complex on the water where the goblins, run by their matriarchal aunties, were in control. And with the decline of Grunion Run, also led to the decline of Auntie Land in all of its previous goblinoid splendor.
I think I
Now
found
be
my
careful.
parents, by the way.
Yeah.
There's some very strange berries around here, and you must be careful which ones you pick up and eat.
What makes them strange?
They have an odd effect on you if you touch them sometimes.
What sort of effect? And Vogue gets a little closer to you.
More about this.
As you're walking closer, you hear two goblins off in the distance going, "Oh, goddamn! I know that little face anywhere!" And just this one little goblin fucking looks, holding a dagger in his hand, is just sprinting in your direction. And as he gets close, he just jumps and like almost like dagger out, and just totally, completely jumps into your arms.
Knife included.
Yeah, not it, but like he happened to be, he was cutting some rope,
Yeah.
and just run and jumps. He says, "Oh, baby girl," and he starts like pinching your cheeks. Look at you.
Yes,
Look at
Father.
you.
Yes, I'm happy to see you. And I kind of rip him off of me and put him on the ground. How are
Who
you
you
today?
Oh, you're still hanging out with this one with the hooves. He's just pointing with the knife.
Not the only one. Nice to see you too, sir.
And who's that one?
Hi, Amina.
This is our new friend, Mina.
Hi.
Speak up!
Hi. Sorry. I just wanted to tell you that out of everyone who saw me pushing that pumpkin today, Ria was one of the only people who stopped to help me, and Vog was the other one. So they're very special.
I was told to do it, so don't give me too much credit.
No, I did it out of the kindness of my heart.
Your mother's thinking of going up to that festival going on today.
Well, you guys
I keep
should. People are dancing. It's loud. It's messy. Everything you love.
There was a cat lady singing. She was quite good.
Everything's so expensive up that way. Cat people singing. Who needs it?
Father,
That was free.
Father, and Ria kneels in front of their father, and they go, just let them know I sent you. Trust me, they won't make you pay. Not today.
Nice when young people make something out of themselves. He kind of looks over at Vogue.
I'm working on it.
I didn't say anything.
You
All right, let me go get your mother. She's trying to put a hat on.
is that difficult?
I bet she looks lovely. Yes, please tell her to come say hi.
And as you said, the door to the shack where you live opens, and your mother, though very short, already has to duck under as she is wearing a hat that is a full 1.5 times as tall as she is.
Oh, wow.
And kind of like having to balance as she makes her way over. She goes, "Oh, it's Mina," and it kind of does like a queen wave towards you as she like literally has to hold her arms out to keep steady as she says, what do you think? Do you notice anything different about me today?"
Wait, did she say hello, Mina, or did you mean Ria one?
Rio.
Ria. Oh, I'm sorry.
Rio.
Mina thinks she was talking to her anyway. She's like, "Hello."
My lady, your shoes look absolutely stunning. Is that a new pair?
And Ria elbows him really fast. It's her hat, you fucking.
And she doesn't want to look down, so she like lifts her foot up so that she can see it out of her peripherals, and it says, "They're new-ish."
Mother, you look absolutely beautiful. Please let me see it from up close.
Oh,
And Ria takes she bows down a little bit and she takes her little mother's goblin hand and she makes her twirl.
this is difficult. She twirls. You notice it's actually a bunch of different hats that have been like roughshod sewn together onto one another.
Is that your own creation?
It is.
My.
You could store so many acorns in there.
Oh, actually,
acorns?
that's what I used in this layer to keep it aloft.
Mother, you're getting more creative by the day. I love it.
Do you think someone will buy it? I'm hoping that this is marketing.
I'll buy it.
I mean, I wasn't gonna pay for a stand, but
Mother, I'll be your biggest supporter. I'll buy it as soon as you put it on the market.
all right, I'll hold you to that. It took me 14 weeks to make this.
14.
That's how long it took to grow my pumpkin.
Well, it's hard to find hats. This many hats.
Do you want to trade it? I have a large pumpkin.
It's a big pumpkin. It's like bigger than me.
Roll a persuasion check.
Mia's thinking immediately that this is the answer to her prayers, and that
It might be.
is it persuasion? You said?
It is persuasion. Yes.
God, I hope I roll a one. Okay.
Everything's middling today.
Also all middling.
Actually, I rolled a 17 myself. So.
That's true. That's true.
I have to see this pumpkin first.
You can see it when you come to the festival. Your husband is going to take you tonight.
Oh, are we going? Are you ready to go there, dear? He just scowls, literally, just like a child, just makes a face.
Hey,
He actually
there's going to be much dancing there as well.
I love dancing. Did you hear that, honey? We'll get to dance. I don't like to dance.
Rhea pushes their father forwards towards their mom, and she goes, "Come on, you know she loved those things."
All right, let's get going before it gets too hot to even breathe.
All right, I'll come by your house in a few days. We'll eat together. How does that sound?
Bring food.
Book will.
Sure.
And they
Enjoy
make
the day.
their way slowly and with some tumbling towards the festival, and leaving you by the dockside.
Oh, they were in a happy mood today.
Your parents are so nice. They're really lovely people.
Thank you.
They were in an awfully good mood today.
True.
It's because they're going to have sex later.
Mina,
What? How do you even know that?
I'd rather not imagine
You
my
just
parents
feel
having
the
sex.
Okay.
So, Mina, tell us more about yourself, would you? First of all, this might be a rude question, but aren't wood elves normally a good bit taller than you?
I don't know. I'm the only one that I know. Really.
You're the only wood elf?
Yes, that I know.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna ask Matt, are elves common in the run?
No.
That's what I thought.
Nope. Not in the city of Parsa at all. The city of Parsa, which I'll remind people periodically through this, is at the top of a mountain. Very hard to get to, so when people get here, they tend to stay. And known as the cradle of human civilization. So elves come here very infrequently, and they stay even less frequently. And elves mix, have relationships with non-elves even less frequently than that. So half-elves are fairly uncommon.
Are you from Parsa?
Yes, I live here with my mom. I didn't really know my dad.
Oh.
Well, that makes it two of us.
We're like sisters
No.
already.
No.
Okay.
Not like sisters, no.
More like
Best friends?
close. Getting close.
I hug you. She hugs you.
Rhea, awkwardly hugs her back. It's a bit too fast for her, but,
Rogue's like,
Let's go in and I run. I just water and I sprint and I jump in the water and all my clothes. I just fully.
with your
Yeah.
clothes.
in the water.
Okay.
Oh, gosh. She's not the
Vogue
brightest
rules.
one, is she?
I can't tell. She's either a genius or the opposite.
No matter.
You gonna swim or guard the clothes?
I'll, Rhea kind of rolls back her leather pants, and she says, "I'll dip my toes."
Good. Vogel stripped down to his undergarments and wade in. And you see that his body is completely covered in tattoos. He's got diagrams, like butcher diagrams. He's got all sorts of flowers and woodland beings. Every single game animal you can think of, just like a canvas across his bare chest and back and stomach
That is
and arms.
That is something I forgot to mention about Ria as well. So she wears her hair in like this high bun, frizzy bun, and on the palm of her neck you can see a tattoo of a full moon traced in white ink, and she has a shit ton of piercings in the face, on the body, on the face, not in it. Well, I guess in it technically, but you get it. And they're all like golden jewelry, so they have like this beautiful contrast against her skin. She's a pretty person, is all I'm saying. So.
Yeah, as you wade into the water, your toes slosh around in fairly muddy water. Not like it's all muddy, but like at the bottom of it is just kind of like you sink into the mud a little bit.
Everyone tries to start swimming as soon as possible, so he doesn't have to feel the mud.
Yeah. You get out far enough. You're swimming, feeling small little Grunion swim around your toes rather than into Willie's net.
How's
can
the
feel
water?
them nibbling. It's great. You should come on in.
It's cold.
I deal better with the heat myself. Thank you.
Fuck, there are eels here we could catch if you are quick enough to do so.
I doubt it, but let's try. Are they in holes at the bottom?
Yes, they're very sneaky. You have to be very careful to find them.
Okay. Show me how it's done.
I just slam my hand into the bottom of the mud and try to pull it.
Roll an eel check, survival check. There we go. This is a hunt.
Okay.
Nice.
You come back up with a fucking eel in your hand, man.
Here you go.
You got it.
This thing goes.
Vogue just puts the head in his mouth and crunches it.
Oh.
You think we could get a few more of these?
Yeah. Definitely. There's like a ton down there. There's like hundreds down there.
I
At
am
least.
Rhea, catch!
terrified.
And he'll throw the crushed head eel towards Rhea on the shore.
Real lets it flop against her shoulder and plop back down in the water. And
You almost had it there, champ.
she looks at you and they give you this look like, really?
It'll be good, I promise. I'll
Mother
cook it up.
always says that Willie is a fool because he fishes grunion that have very little meat on them, but eels have quite a lot more meat.
Oh, I'm with you there. Grunion are nothing but bones. You'll be picking your teeth for days.
It's incredible
All
if
right.
he makes any money at all catching grunion.
Rhea picks up
I
the
heard-
heads.
I heard that Willie's got other income streams, Mina, if you know what I mean.
He goes to other streams to fish, yes. I understand exactly what you mean.
Definitely what I meant. And Vogel dive down and try to find these eels that he didn't know were so easily available.
As you while away the rest of the morning looking for eels until they're ready to announce the winners of the contests later on, we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break. We'll take 5.
Alrighty.
We'll be back and keep playing this wonderful high stakes heavy. Yes, we're gonna keep playing our farm sim. Thank you
Alright.
for joining us.
We're back.
Welcome back.
Heck yeah.
Thank you.
After catching eels, and you catch a good amount. So I don't know what you're doing with these like half dozen pretty decent sized. You get some smaller ones, but you throw them back, and you have about a half dozen decent sized eels. But it is also getting close to the time when they're going to start announcing the winners of like the competitions and stuff at that main stage.
So the best part about eels is that they clean quick and they cook quick. And Vogue pulls out a knife from his apron pouch, quickly guts the eels, peels the backbone out of it.
Middle of the lake.
Right on the shore.
Yeah,
He doesn't
yeah,
give a shit. And his fingers are fairly practiced when it comes to prepping animals for food.
I think Mina takes out a little knife and like tries to look at what you're doing, try to copy what you're doing, but it's like much worse than what you're doing.
Oh, you
And
see, you don't want to rupture that one because that's the gallbladder.
Oh.
You did it.
And
That's
as you're
okay.
throwing the crummy bits back in, the little grunions are coming up and eating all of it. So they're getting a little bit of a feast too.
And now we can just roast these up. They roast up beautiful on the coals, and if you've got some spices and seasonings, then they taste even better.
This is like the perfect day.
Mina, you and I make a good team because I didn't know that these were so easy to catch.
I like to come down here. My mom likes to come down to the water a lot, so I spend a lot of time down here as a kid.
Just pleasure walks, or
I don't really feel comfortable talking about that just yet.
sorry to overstep.
It's okay. You could just... Oh. Look where the sun is. I didn't realize we have to get back. They're going to judge the pumpkins soon.
Let's do it. Hopefully
Rhea
you'll win.
is laying on the beach or whatever like piece of dry land there is next to the water, and she's asleep.
Oh, watch this. And Vogue will take an eel and just put it right across her eyes. Raw, bloody, everything.
Oh, fuck you, man! Does it wake me up?
That's up to you.
I say, hey, Vok!
It's
What did
Vogue,
you
but
Wait, what was
yes,
it?
my name's Vogue.
Oh, look over there. And I just slap him with a
And as Vogue like exclaims out of surprise, Rhea wakes up and they just have this. Fuck! I'm losing my English. We haven't played D&D in so long. Fuck. They have this gooey.
Goopy. Yeah.
What was it?
Slime?
Slimy.
Goopy, gooey, slimy. Yeah.
gooey,
Go.
all of those
Yeah,
above their
yeah.
eyes. And so they kind of like reach for it, and when she looks at it, she realizes how bloody it is. So like they wipe their eyes, and she looks at that Vogue. She takes the fish from Mina's hand and but on the shoulder, like a friendly one.
Oh! Alright, you'll stain my shirt.
eel fight! And I slap.
Mina, give me an investigation check as you guys are getting ready to leave as well. A 15.
Nice.
Pretty good. So as you are looking around, you realize, oh, you jumped in the water. Where did Timothy go? But you are actually able to track it. Crawling through the grass, you are able to track down this green caterpillar.
Not Timothy.
Sorry, Timothy. I get distracted there for a second, and I'll just pick him up and I'll just put him like on my shoulder. Just so you can see right there. Okay, let's race. Last one, there's Rod and Eel, and I just take off, going towards the.
Rhea pulls her legs out when Vogue starts running.
Vogue's collecting the eels. He doesn't want to lose these fuckers. He's gonna be last no matter what.
Okay, then if Rhea sees Vogue like not giving a shit about the race, she just starts walking towards the fair.
Yeah,
Mina
Vogue will clop up
charging
afterwards.
ahead at
For
full
like,
speed.
yeah. Mina's just thinking they're all racing.
You all a little while later make your way back over to the run. There are even more people here, and it's a little bit busier. A little bit busier than it was, a little bit warmer than it was now. And as you're gathering around the stage, and you see Losgold, the announcer for this, you also see Frank, and the other judges standing by, ready to announce.
Rhea stands and she gives him the eyes.
And I think Mina's just like jumping up, hopping. I can't. Vogue, could I go on your shoulders so I could see?
Sure. He'll like kneel down and get her up on.
Just start scrambling.
Oh, okay, great. That
And
works.
yeah, Mina, you look over this sea of people, scattered around. And just at the distance here, Lana Chanson singing her newest song as she's singing, she wore blue velvet, bluer than velvet was the night, softer than satin was the light from the stars.
This one's good. I like that one.
And as she sings this much slower sound, kind of accompanied by a gentleman on the fiddle, as it ends, Losgold stands up before the crowd and says, "Oh my god, you beautiful people, look at you. We got to say, we love it every year. This festival gets larger and larger. The biggest thing we have here at the Run. We appreciate your patronage. Having all the vegetables. Plenty more left for sale. We have fried grunion. We have vegetables. Raffle 50-50 raffle tickets are still available at the front if you find a purveyor.
Oh, we should buy those.
Yeah, you'll lose.
But now, what many of you have been waiting for, especially the farmers, we are here to announce the winners of the different categories.
Purple.
We will announce the vegetables before the animals, because people care way more about animals, so we save those for last. In the category of most juicy apple, the person who just put the glass of water in the shape of an apple, you lose. It is not you. You are not the winner. He starts going off category after category after category for the different winners. And then he says,
Parsnips. Pumpkin will be next. No, wait, potatoes are first and then pumpkins. Shit. Parsley.
And now, for the largest of the vegetables we have available, the one, the only, the big-ass pumpkins. Winner of the big-ass pumpkin category is Mr. Jeffrey's pumpkin.
Hooray! Purple,
So
you did it! Yay!
So large, Mr. Jeffrey. Come on up and receive your ribbon. And
Wasn't you, Mina. But there's
You
a
guys
second
can-
category for pumpkins, right?
you guys can all roll I guess, history check to see if you know this gentleman.
17, baby!
6.
Yeah, I think with a 17 and then with an 18, Mina, you two do know Jeffrey. He's from the Run, right? He is definitely not a farmer himself. It's the kind of thing where he was definitely like maybe like cajoled his parents, who are the farmers, into letting him bring it here and get all the glory. This one giant pumpkin, or maybe he grew this one pumpkin himself, but probably doesn't do much work on other things on the farm. But he comes up and he gets this big blue ribbon. And they say, the second prize in this category is Miss Mina, with her also fairly big pumpkin. Yeah.
Thank
Second
you.
place.
Thank you. And I'll run up to the stage. I don't know if you do that, but I leap off Vogue's head. I leap off Vogue's shoulders. I start just trying to walk across, like just scutter across the top of the crowd.
Give me an acrobatics. Let's see how well this goes.
Okay, I would love to do that right now.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, you kind of do, and you eventually end up on the ground. You go and you climb up on the stage. You're like sweating and out of breath by the time you get there.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, Miss Mina, here, I can pin it right on your shirts there, darling.
Thank you.
What color is this one?
What's second? Red, right? Red is second place.
Mm.
Blue ribbon is first, I think. It is here. It is, and if it isn't in other places, check and correct me. That's fine.
Timothy, we did it.
He looks proud. And Jeffrey says, "That was a pretty good pumpkin you had there." Mina?
Thank you, Jeffrey. Yours was quite enormous.
Yeah, pride of the farm every year. Pretty happy the way this. Sometimes they can rot, but this one did all right.
I wish it could be the festival every day.
Oh, you need to give them pumpkins some time to grow, though, don't you?
That's true. Yes, they take a long time. If you want to eat any eels tonight, I've just caught some. I'm sorry, that's like maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Okay, now everyone get off the stage. Animals are next. People
Okay,
care
yes,
way more
girls.
about animals. You need to get off with your pumpkins and your ribbons. And you and Jeffrey are kind of giving off. And Jeffrey, who has this huge smile on his face, although seems kind of detached maybe a little bit from like the ribbon. Roll an insight check for me for Jeffrey.
Everyone?
Now I have a question, Matthew.
Nina, 'cause she's right
I have a
there,
question.
yeah.
Is this related to pumpkins? Is this pumpkin adjacent?
I'll give it to you. Go ahead and roll
Let's
with
go.
advantage. And roll again. Don't use this thing.
Oh, okay,
Roll
okay.
again. We'll take the first one. 'cause-
Okay, let's hope. So insight? Okay.
Yeah.
What?
We didn't
Maybe
do that.
not.
Oh, it's even worse.
I just, like,
Yeah.
She's just so happy about that. She just keeps looking at the ribbon and like just straightening it and then like looking back. Like she just doesn't notice anything's going on around her.
Yeah, Jeffrey just has this big old, this like huge smile on his face, but this kind of like spacey look, as he kind of looks at you and says, "Yeah, well, I don't know about eels, but me and Tracy are gonna kind of have a party later on. You can come if you want."
Party? That sounds wonderful. Could my friends come too? I only have 2 of them. Well, 3 if you count Timothy.
I don't know him.
Well, he's this caterpillar. Right here. Hi.
You know,
He's waving.
We haven't seen each other lately too much. Huh? I forgot how you can be.
Do you know Vogue or Rhea? They're out there.
Oh, you know, who was the one that got the good check?
Rhea
It
got
was
the good
Rhea,
one.
right? Yeah. Oh, you know, you're hanging with her. Are
She
you
helped
hanging
me.
with them?
She helped me push the pumpkin earlier, and then they both didn't. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I definitely think most people around here know when Rhea's coming around.
Oh, she's so pretty, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if your friends like to party, we're gonna meet over at let me see. Give me a bar that isn't burnt down or out of from
What was
our
the gold something, right? What was the gold? What's Gold's bar? Not that one.
No, what was the one that Eve that your character ran? I think that's still around, right?
Parsa's
Just under a
Finest.
different.
Parsa's finest.
But
Yeah,
oh,
Parsa's-
yeah, because it was rebranded, right.
It's rebranded. It's a new owner, but we're meeting at Parsa's Finest before sundown. If you want to meet us there.
I'll be there. We'll bring the eels, and I just walk away.
Okay. Yeah, Mina returns to you, looking very self-satisfied.
We got invited to a party, and I got
Party?
2nd place. So this is
What
the
kind of
best
party?
day of my life. What?
What kind of party?
I think it's for really. It's like I think Jeffrey's really cool, so I think it's for people who are cool. And I've never been
Ooh.
invited to one of those before, so
Ooh,
This is pretty
cool
big for
people
me.
party.
there. It's at Parsa's Finest. I think that's a. Is that like,
What?
That's like one of those places.
Not anymore,
Isn't it?
darling.
Oh,
Used to be, but
that's
you
good.
know, all that was banned a few years back.
How long has it been banned for, Matt?
Since that decision was made
Awesome.
some time ago.
Okay. Awesome.
The timeline of it's 3 or 4 years since we stopped our Game of Kingdom as the setup for this, but I don't know how many years into it was like, because I don't think it was that last crossroads where all that stuff got banned. It was a little bit before that too.
Okay.
It's been a
Oh
little
yeah,
while.
that's right.
My mom,
Yeah.
my mom always said that her brother went into one of those rooms and never came out again.
Well, he must have had the
What?
time of his life.
No, sorry, not there, but like one of those rooms where they all lie down and they just don't really come out anymore.
Oh,
Um.
one of those.
So, how about that prize? Congratulations.
That's right.
Nina.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Mom,
Is there a lot of money involved with that?
I don't know. I totally forgot to ask. Maybe I should have asked.
You can roll a history check. Anyone here, really? You know, you're all connected to
7.
this town.
9.
2.
None of you have ever won anything in your lives, so you have no idea
That's good. That's good.
whatsoever. Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
this ribbon is worth a lot of money, so it should be okay. Thank you, though.
How cheap does the ribbon look, Matt?
It's cheap. It's cheap. It's cheap.
Ria's not gonna
yeah.
say anything.
Yeah, at a distance, it looks like a ribbon. Up close, it looks like a torn piece of cloth.
Mom's gonna be so proud of me.
But the pumpkin you said we're going to sell, no?
Yes, yeah, we can sell that.
So how do you do that?
Oh, they'll give me something for it when I go back. They'll usually people come and buy them, but it might take all night because it's a pretty big pumpkin and people are not like always super into buying those really giant pumpkins. They're not
What?
like the biggest moneymaker at the festival.
What if we sell the pumpkin before we go to the party?
That sounds great. Then we could actually have money,
Yes,
which would be nice.
it would.
Like, buy more juice.
And
Have you had
other
any of the
things.
honey juice?
Oh.
They have better than that, darling.
Better than honey juice? Like what?
Have you
What
ever
other
heard
juices
of
do they have?
maple syrup juice?
That's rather thick, but sure, I'll try
Honey
it.
is thicker
I'm cool.
than maple syrup. What?
Jeffrey said that that people always like look out when you're around. What did he I think he just meant that you were really pretty.
I'll return the compliment, darling. Thank you.
Should we get like better dressed? My clothes are soaked.
Well, it's because you went swimming in them. Mine are fine. I left them on the shore.
Yeah, I usually do that because the eels bite, so I didn't really want to go in there without.
Well, how far is your house?
Will you? How far is your house?
I asked you first.
How about we stop at my parents' place? I'm sure I have something that fits you, Mina.
Yeah, but we just came from there. That's in the opposite direction.
But isn't
Aren't
it
there,
like
like-
really close?
Festival games we can play and win.
Or we can
What?
win the festival game if you want.
What else is like happening other than the vegetable and
Oh
animal
yeah,
prizes? And
yeah. There's like one side of this is like all of like you can go and see the animals and the vet and like all that stuff. There's the stage kind of in the middle of the town. The rest of it is they have games. They have places you can buy food or get your caricature drawn or any of that kind of stuff too. Yeah.
I have an idea. What if we cook the eels and sell them? We can sell them on like skewers or something, right?
yes, that I tried that earlier, but it didn't go too well. But
Can you take
eels
me-
are much better.
Can you take me to your restaurant?
I don't have a restaurant. I just work in them occasionally.
Oh,
Sorry.
do you have anywhere we could go to cook the eel?
Well, all we need is a fire pit with some coals. And you can find skewers anywhere. I can make them out of sticks.
Okay, let's sell these eels.
Vogue starts feverishly looking around for like fires or something. Is there anywhere we can cook up some food?
I think finding a fire is give me, I guess, a sleight of hand as you're collecting stuff and
Okay.
getting ready and cooking. Well, dexterity based.
I think 7. I can't roll above 10.
I love it. You're used to kitchens, right? So trying to like find sticks and then find a random open like trash can fire to cook your eel on. They end up pretty crispy. Definitely
Crispy
on
eels.
the on the flaky and burnt side of the spectrum of eel cooking.
Good. These will, now that the sun's going down, they won't be able to tell how bad they are until they pay for them.
Get your crispy eels here! Delicious crispy eels for
Crispy
sale! Eels
2
are so
coppers.
good to eat
I
in
think while they
your
sell their
belly.
eels, Riowin kind of like they extend their hand so that what's the name of the caterpillar?
That's
Timothy.
Timothy. Oh, Timothy.
So like inviting Timothy to like crawl on her hands.
I'll roll an animal hand.
His full name is Timothy Chalamet, but it is. It's fine.
It's a 6.
Timothy doesn't want anything to do with you.
Well, fuck you too, guy. Then she walks away.
Mina, you can give me a persuasion check to see how well you do.
All right, guys,
You
I
can give
got
it an advantage persuasion.
My crispy eels.
Sorry, I froze there for a second. Am I rolling?
That's-
All right.
A 13.
No, I think you're giving Mina advantage with it.
Oh, perfect.
But with a 13, you're able to sell the eels.
Wow. That's
Um,
a miracle
and
if
we-
I
You have to like
remember.
sell one and then walk kind of far away so that no one can see the person's face that's eating it. But you do manage to sell at least a few of them. You managed to sell a few of the eels.
And I'll come back just so proud, and I'll just put the money into Vogue's hands, and I'll be like, we made some money.
Immediately count it. What do we get?
I don't know, like 6 copper, 2 copper apiece for the eels.
We only had 3? Fuck, okay.
How much?
You only sold 3.
Matt,
Oh,
So you
okay.
sold 3.
How much did Frank owe my boss?
An indiscriminate number of coinage.
That's
Yeah.
above or below 6 copper?
I would say above 6 copper.
Okay. No, that's cool. I was just asking for a friend, so.
Sure. Yeah.
Hey, maybe
Vogue just
actually,
closes.
I can give this to my mother for money. So maybe we could go to my place. It's not too far away.
Lead the way.
I will lead them towards, like, out a little bit way towards the more like the farmlands, towards where my mother and I live together.
Yeah, I think you live in kind of the southern part of the town. Southern part of this neighborhood. Kind of where the like casinos and big buildings used to be, but which have been demolished and all that land turned into farmland. And you're not terribly close. You're not super close to the lake. You're a bit further uphill, and you have a small, fairly modest farm with a farmhouse.
This is a charming place you got.
Thank you. I'm gonna just give this to my mom, and then we can go. You don't have to come in if you don't want to, or if you do, you can. Whatever you want to do.
Rio is already like if you have like any kind of stairs or like hill going up, like she was already sitting there just waiting for you to do your thing. in the back.
Great. Okay, here. I'll be back in a second, and I will run up the front. I don't know if there's front stairs or whatever to the house.
Yeah, there's a few stairs, and you look at the porch that definitely needs a paint job, but no one's kind of gotten around to it. And you open the door, and then just enter into this small, pretty modest home.
Mom, I'm home.
Oh, Mina?
Yeah.
Hey, how'd it go with your pumpkin?
We got second place. We got second place.
Oh,
And I
she's
present
just
ribbon
kind
for
of. Yeah, she's sitting in the rocking chair, and then like holds the ribbon, and just like, oh, this is great. How much did you get for the pumpkin?
her. I didn't sell the pumpkin yet. I have to still sell the pumpkin.
Oh, you better get down there. I mean, second place,
Oh.
you should get a decent price for it.
Okay, I'll get back right away. And here, and I'll give her the 2 copper. This is from we caught a couple eels while we were waiting, and we sold them.
You looking for eels? Mina, darling, you gotta sell the pumpkin.
Yes,
You
I'm
should
gonna
get
do that.
a pretty penny for that.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that right
Kind
away.
of just like takes the coins and the ribbon and just kind of puts them on the end table next to her rocking chair.
Okay,
Like
I'll be
going
right
up
back.
to this
I'll do that right
glass.
now, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, all right, darling. Hurry up, scoot over there.
Okay, I'll go right away. And I just sprint out of the house, and I have to go sell the pumpkin, and I'll just start running off.
2 quick questions. What does Mina's mother look like?
Probably a bit, into her 40s, but probably looks a bit older than that. Definitely sunbaked, with pretty calloused hands. Today she was kind of like sitting there in this rocking chair, hot, sweating in this hot day, with just a glass of liquor next to her on the chair.
Mm-hmm. And is she's not the elf parent, right?
She is a human.
Okay. Cool. And then my second thing was, while they're in there, Vogue will be sort of pacing back and forth next to Rhea. Do you think they'll have it there at Parsa's finest?
I mean,
We only got 6 copper. I don't know.
listen, best I can do, if I see any familiar faces, I can try to get it from them, tell them I'll pay later. That's the best I can do for you, though.
Okay. Because we might need to rob one of the games or something.
Vogue, there's gonna be a shit ton of people in there.
Right, so we'll blend right in.
A shit ton of people means a shit ton of eyes. You're a fae. I'm a tiefling. All I
I'm sorry, I gotta sell a pumpkin. As Mina just opens the door and starts running through the middle of your conversation.
Jeez. Shall we follow her?
Yeah, I guess so.
No, go to the party, I promise. Oh, I meant to change. Shit.
Why did we even come here?
I had to give my mom the money, but then I should have realized. I'll tell you when I get there.
Okay. And we'll take long strides to try to catch up to dashing Mina. Was the mother bald?
No, I don't think she was.
Mike, when you said Mina's hair looks like they were singed at some point, what
It
does
looks like
singed
it. So,
mean?
like, yeah, she doesn't have any hair on her. She has eyebrows, like light, and then she doesn't have any hair on her head. But it doesn't look like she shaved it. It looked like there might have been hair, and then in some kind of accident, it just was like it looks like it might be growing back. Like it's not like dead, like
Oh.
nothing's there, but
is
it's
there,
like
texture, as in like a scar tissue or anything?
no, it's almost like if you guys ever put your hand close to finding your knuckle. I don't know if your knuckle hair, but if you have knuckle hair, your knuckle hair just singes off. It's kind of like that.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it's scar
Oh.
tissue, but it's just like there might be some growing back
You know-
at some point, but it's just not hair right now.
Okay.
Eve, when your hairy ass hands
Yeah.
catch fire, is what he's talking about.
I actually, I
So the hair in
shaved,
your hands catches on fire. Exactly.
I shaved for this event, by the way.
Yeah, it's usually pretty disconcerting, so we appreciate that. Not to comment on your appearance.
We'll be
or
selling our hair on the internet
Yeah.
soon, people, so just
Yes.
stay tuned.
Uh,
Look at
hand,
the merch shop.
modeled hand hair. You all go past skewers of finely cooked eel, pre-packed bottles of hand hair, back to the area where your pumpkin still rests, and they've put another ribbon on it. And some people, you notice, have actually written right on the pumpkin, like with charcoal, just written on the side, like with the price that they're offering to buy it for, since there wasn't anyone there. And the highest price that you see is actually from where the hell is that? Their list of names that I was writing
They
down.
have a name
is
that's
actually
problematic.
from Frank himself.
There we go.
There it is.
Yeah, and he's willing to pay. He bid up to 18 gold pieces for this, and I think you notice, Rhea, a marking next to his name too. That looks like it might just be a smudge, but you definitely notice it as a thieves' cant marking, shown to signal you that like part of what he owes is tied up in the very overpriced amount he's willing to pay for this pumpkin.
Dope.
So much more.
What's the next bid behind his?
6.
Nice.
Vogue,
Ooh, that's
how about you go meet with the gentleman that offered 6?
great idea.
Mina, we'll go meet with Frank. What do you think?
Do I know the name of the person who offered 6?
It's Geburfin. But I would say that Frank's is. I mean, he probably only owes about like 10 golds to you guys, but he like overbid by like 12. So his price is even better than he owed you because of your intimidation check earlier. So taking him up on that offer is.
Do you want me to
yeah,
go for the
quite
person to?
profitable.
Do you want me to go to the person who offered 6?
No, I've got that covered. You just go get the money from Frank.
Okay.
I'll be
will
with you,
come-
Mina. Don't worry.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
And as they kind of head off, I'll go, Geborfin, where are you at? And I'll stride off looking for this person.
Okay, you can make an investigation check to look for Geburfin, who I added as a named character now, just so you know.
Come on, let's have one roll that actually works out.
Not 20. Fuck.
Fucking
Eight.
can't find him. Can't find him. Geburfin's in the wind.
As we walk.
That's the first teacher, people. Geburfin's in the wind.
Geburfin's in the wind.
As Mina and I walk towards, I'm guessing Frank's gonna be at Parsa's Finest. Everyone meets there, right?
Frank's probably still by the stage.
Okay, so we'll go there. But as we head there, then, Mina, you and I are friends, right?
Yes. If you'll let me be your friend.
Absolutely, darling. Don't be silly. Now you see, I have a secret.
Really?
Can I tell it to you?
I have a secret too. But yes, do you want to do yours first?
Yes, I will.
Okay.
You see, Frank and I, we go way, way back, and the guy had some difficult moments lately, and so I lent him money, and he owes me, like, quite a few. Do you think you could maybe share what he's giving you today?
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course. Yes, I will.
And I think Rhea's trying to hide it, but you can see her, like, her chest go up and down as she, like, sighs of relief. Thank you.
Of course, I wouldn't have ever been able to sell it. I wouldn't have been able to get it there if it wasn't for you. For you and Vogue.
You're underestimating yourself. Now, come on, let's go.
I don't know. I was pushing that pumpkin for like 4 hours before
Wait, before we go, what's your secret, darling?
I don't really like beets at all. I don't think they're very tasty.
You know
I
what?
pretend to like them from
I don't like beets either.
yeah, they are awful. They're really
disgusting.
not very good.
Yeah. Let's go find Frank.
They're so wet. Like an eel.
You guys are wrong. Beats are nature's candy. As you make your way back to the stage, which is empty right now, Lana Shanzan is having herself a little break herself and is nowhere to be seen with her poofy kitty whiteness. But you do see Frank here, kind of in the center, actually like sitting on the stage. With some people like around him as he's talking to them, like looking like the cool guy with a big badge on him, so it says like official judge that you think he might have just made for himself. And kind of like gets down from the stage and looks a little more nervous as he sees you guys coming close. And said, "Well, congratulations, Miss Mina, on your victory. And I don't know if you were able to go and see Miss Riowen, but I did make a bid on the pumpkin myself. I was so impressed by it."
Thank you, Frank. I'm so glad that you are going to be Purple's new dad.
Yes, Frank, we've come
He's
to gather the
very.
money.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm glad to see that I've won the bid for the day. I believe it was for 15 gold pieces.
18.
Right. It's so much more spectacular when it's in my face. I'm sure I was overbid. That sounds exactly correct. And he takes out 18 gold pieces and hands it. Oh, and he doesn't know who to hand it to.
Mina,
At first.
please, it's your price.
Thank you.
Yes. Here you go, darling.
Thank you, Frank.
all
And if you
paid
ever
up
want any other
In
pumpkins,
full.
Thank you.
Riowen takes her index finger and they trace it with this long black stiletto nail along Frank's cheek. And they go, much appreciated. I'll see you next month.
Do you want to come to the party?
No, he doesn't, darling. He's not very outgoing.
A bit of a homebody.
Okay, thank you, Frank. It really means a lot that you bought Purple, and my mom and I are very thankful to you for doing that.
I thought I purchased a pumpkin, but you have a good day.
His name is Purple, but yes, he's a pumpkin. Thank you. Sorry, I'll stop talking now. Goodbye.
And as we walk away, so Mina, how does victory taste? Tell me.
That tastes amazing. It tastes a lot better than those ales did. Don't tell Vogue, but they were quite bad. I actually ate 2 of them myself because I was embarrassed that I couldn't sell them.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, I don't think it's sitting well with the honey juice from earlier either. But we should go to that party. Do you want to go? Oh, I'm sorry. Here, and I just hand out the gold to you.
Like all of it?
Like she offers you like the entire amount just to see what you want to take from it.
Yeah, I think Rhea like takes the bag in full and she kind of opens it. She counts like 1, 2, 3, 4, and she how much was it? 18.
It was 18 in total. Yeah.
And you said he owed how much? 8 or 10?
8. Oh, sorry, 10. 10.
She takes 11. She gives the bag back. The bag back.
And I think like Mina looks at it like this is like a lot of money to her. Like it's like a lot of money to her. And thank you. Should we go find where did Vogue end up?
He'll probably meet us. Parsa's
Yeah, Vogue is actually walking towards you now, making his way, having been unsuccessful looking for. Sorry, let me get his name correct. Gaburfin. Yes.
Burfin. Can't find him anywhere. It's like the wind took him.
And she'll run over to Mina will run over to you and she'll offer you like the gold. Same thing, like just to see how much you'd like to take.
You can see Rhea behind Mina, and as she makes eye contact with you, she kind of gives you this look. Like, you can't... We've known each other for years, so I think you can read her pretty well. You can take some of it, but be reasonable.
But, well, it was 18, right? So I think this... I'll just have 1 for me, and the rest you can keep.
Oh. Okay, Vogue. Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go back because I have to get this done right away or I will forget. And then can I meet you at the party? I'll change and I'll meet you there.
You know where it is?
Oh yes, I know Parsa's finest, yes.
Alright, we'll meet you there then.
See you soon.
Thank you. See you there.
Yeah, I think you guys will get there before Mina. However, I think Mina's not going to be that far behind because while you guys are walking lackadaisically through this area, Mina is like running full out to get to.
Just Naruto running.
While
We have a
get there-
purposeful step. We've got...
Yeah.
So one of us has a need at this place.
Yeah. And as we purposefully make our way there, Rhea takes the extra gold piece that she gathered from Mina, and can I pretend I had another one just lying in my pocket because I have change?
Yep.
So she gives Vogue 2 extra gold.
Now we're in... This is even enough for tomorrow. Maybe
Pace
even...
yourself, Vogue.
I will. Yeah, I can do that.
Vogue, I won't clean up your mess again. Pace yourself.
Okay. Heard.
You two make your way into the establishment that used to be a home of ill repute, but is now simply decently, what was decorated to be a more upper crust place, but because of the normal clientele of this now agrarian civilization, is pretty low key establishment called Parsa's Finest.
Is my boss there?
Yes.
Looking around, yeah, you do not see Jeffrey, nor do you see Tracy. But you do see Shanzi, your boss, who
Shanzi.
is Shanzi. He is Hobgoblin.
Ooh.
Pretty buff looking dude, and he's sitting down with a very delicate drink. On the thing, and he using this two hands and sipping this thing, putting it back down. You do know whatever he's drinking is quite strong. So.
I think Rhea approaches him from behind, and they kind of places their hand on his shoulder and trace it down almost seductively, and they say, "Hello, boss."
Well, look at you today. Let me get the full look. And she grabs your hand and actually spins you and says, "What a beautiful piece that I have now. Coming to have a drink with me. Will you sit?"
I will. However, as they spin me, the pouch full of golds, the 10 golds, now rests in their hands.
Even better to be seeing you like this. And in the pot, he doesn't look inside it or anything. He simply puts it away. He says, "It's always a good time to see you, darling."
You know, cash hasn't been flowing lately.
Today is the festival. Cash flows very freely.
Well, perhaps a little bonus would be well received this month.
Did you bring one for me?
No, Shanzi, I'm asking you for one.
Sure. Perhaps if you want to give me a bonus, I can give you one.
Shanzi, you know I don't live alone. My house is a mess. It's falling apart.
Well, we can figure that out after. Let's get you a drink first.
I give a knowing look to Vogwai, and I start enjoying my drink with my boss.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's being terribly inappropriate. If your criminal organization had an HR department, they'd be all over this particular managing entity. And he, though sipping daintily, he does so often, and it's a rather strong liquor. He's daintily sipping 151 from a martini glass. As he gets so dry, he forgets you're sitting next to him entirely.
I slip away.
Yeah.
I slip away, and I go back to Vogue.
Vogue's been at the bar, drumming his fingers,
Yeah.
buying literally the cheapest possible whatever the hell they have to spend as little of the money as possible. He hasn't paid for it yet, but...
And because you're ordering the swill out of the well, you're not getting terribly much attention either. So you're sitting there at the bar, rather, the other side of the bar from your friend, rather lonesome. And about the time that she comes over to you and you're like, "Oh, thank goodness," Mina also comes in, breathing heavily.
Mina, darling,
Change
you
your
made
clothes?
it.
And you see that Mina has changed. She must have taken a quick bath because she looks cleaner. She looks like she's not dirty from the eels and the mud anymore. She has a very simple white dress, and just a pair of leather boots. And she just waves.
You
Ooh,
look
you
absolutely
clean up
lovely.
nice.
Thank you.
I'm a little nervous. I've really never been invited to a party like this before.
You know how good parties start?
How?
With a toast. Care to join us?
Sure. Yes.
And I'll ask for a round for my 2 friends and myself.
Of course, darling. What is it you want? You want a bottle?
Maple syrup needs, please.
Oh, certainly. This is like the cosmopolitan
thickest you have.
of the. This is the basic bitch drink you guys are getting. As you get maple, that good tree flavored alcohol, brought over to you in like a tall glass, nice tall, skinny, has like a I don't know what piece of fruit would you put with maple syrup.
Actually, apples? Apples are pretty good.
Sure, yeah, a nice slice of apple.
Pears,
right
actually
on the
pears.
top.
No, make it pears.
Yep.
Pears.
Yeah, a nice pear slice, right on the top. All right, you all enjoy.
So Rhea lifts up her glass, looks at Book Vogue and Mina, and they go, to us.
Yes.
And at this point, being a little bit later, the sun is now set. You still look around, see no sign of Jeffrey or Tracy.
Look, I almost forgot. And I just take out the ribbon and I pin it onto the front of my dress and I say, and look what else. And I hold up 1 gold. Mom, let me keep one.
Darling, you shouldn't wear that ribbon around like that. People will get awfully jealous.
I like that if they're jealous.
Ooh, you little devil.
Thank
Andre,
you
I think your microphone is muted.
for helping me
Thank you.
today. Thank you. It really means a lot. I think this was a really nice day so far.
So far, it's only going to get better from here.
I hope so. But they don't do anything like that in Parsa's Finest anymore, right? It's not like...
You mean sex?
Yes.
No.
Hmm?
Unfortunately.
Okay. So,
Why do you ask, Mina? Is that something you're
Mom
looking
just
for?
said to be careful. She just said to be careful.
Well, you're with us. How much more careful could you be?
That's true. And that's what I told her. Yes.
Did-
So...
Did
Sorry.
She? Sorry, I'm just... had a few girlfriends in the past, and usually their mom doesn't trust me. Did your mother see us?
Did my mom see you guys? I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, that makes more
Um,
sense.
She is really very nice, but sometimes she just doesn't talk very much to me.
Someone crashes into the bar next to you, as they're not quite stable on their feet. And you notice in this billowy pink dress, the white poof ball that is the singer from the stage from earlier, Lana Chanzon, kind of crashes in. She hits the counter, just I need a drink over here.
Barkeep, over here. Don't keep the lady waiting now. How's your
Oh.
evening going, miss?
It is quite good now, I gotta say.
I see you're in high spirits.
Make a medicine check as you see Lana.
If this is related to the effect of narcotics, might I roll with advantage?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh. Holy shit! Why are you rolling so shit?
Vogus cursed.
Fucking rolled an 8.
She definitely seems to be not in her most even-keeled state of mind, though you can't really place it, as she's just very giggly and like leaning against the side of the bar. As barkeep comes up and asks her what she wants, she's like, oh, darling, let me have a whatever, and she points over at Chauncey down at the end of the bar and like winks at him and says, give me one of whatever he's having.
Miss Lana?
Yes, darling.
I just wanted to tell you that you were wonderful today, and I loved your show, and you're very pretty.
Oh, why, thank you. And she kind of starts up and, like, smooths out her now crumpled dress a bit, as she says, "Why, thank you so much, darling. Aren't you so
Could
sweet?"
you sign my ribbon?
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't seem to have a quill on me.
It's okay. That's okay. It's silly. Anyway.
If one of y'all have one, I'd be happy to.
Charcoal pencil?
Even some ink on my finger.
Matt, would you let me
Oh.
have a quill on me?
She takes up the charcoal.
Okay.
You might, but even before you get a chance to search yourself, she does take this charcoal, and though it's not going to say, she does kind of put just this big elaborate version of her initials on the ribbon, but it gets a bit on your dress too, as she makes it so
That's
big.
okay. Thank you.
But there you go. I appreciate it. So, and she's like getting now like this black charcoal all because she is like, oh, I'm sorry, the pure white cat that I had left.
Oh, we know the
I
one you
can't
mean.
hold her up. For all the viewers. But yeah, so like it's like leaving streaks on her fur. And she's like, it's so nice. I gotta say, I've had such a reception since I've gotten up here to Parsa. What a nice little neck of the woods you have over here.
Oh, we sure know how to throw a party.
You know, it's not maybe the fanciest, but it's the Run is a nice place to live. Yes.
It seems quite nice.
Careful with that pencil. You're getting charcoal on your fur. And Vogue will
Let me-
like
and
use
he-
the back of his hand to wipe some of it away from her cheek.
And he she grabs your hand and holds it against her fur and kind of says, "Like, thank you.
Matt,
Aren't
Big.
you sweet?"
would I
Meaty
recognize-
sausage fingers.
Would I recognize from my crew? I think the term in English is like a pusher, someone who sells narcotics.
Yeah. You can make an insight check.
I like how you precise. You can make this check. It's a D20. 15.
Perfect. You know, it's for the people at home.
I like the flavor of a check with nothing at. Like, just it's that kind of check, but just don't add anything. Like, this is
Don't
really,
add them.
that's not bad. I don't dislike it actually.
She is high, though you're
No,
not
but
necessarily
I-
sure.
I'm looking
on-
for like
on
someone
what?
who's selling.
But she does not seem to be someone that's selling.
No,
although,
but-
from what you could tell,
No, no.
Oh, I thought you were doing insight on her.
No. That's
well,
why
Where
let me
did
tell
she
you,
get it?
I'm sorry.
if anyone knows where to find something, it's this chick right here, because she has partaken and recently.
Okay.
Shazza, do you have any stories from outside of Parsa?
Ooh, roll a persuasion check at disadvantage, please.
Darling, whatever you're on, I want in on it too. Care to share?
What did you say, Matt? Sorry, persuasion.
Persuasion at disadvantage because she'd be very reticent. To
Cuteness only gets you so far in this role, anyway.
Yeah.
Hi.
It's, I gotta say, this is one of the more interesting places I've seen in my life. I don't know why you'd want to hear about. What were you asking, Don? Oh, you looking for a little bump?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't mind if we did.
There is a gentleman just around back of this establishment. I don't know what he's got planned tonight, but he is giving it away for free.
How?
Free. Whoa. Vogue gets up immediately.
Yeah, Rhea kind of takes him by the shoulder, sits him back down. Please, you three enjoy yourselves. I'll bring it back.
You sure?
And I exit the building to go see the general.
Yeah,
Oh,
Lana goes right into the seat where you were sitting, like, with the two of you, and continues to be very flirtatious.
What inspires your music?
It's when the sunlight glistens off a lamb's tail while its mother's bleeding in the slaughter for dinner that night. There's something there that really inspires me. Going out the back of this, still hearing some of the sounds of the tavern from inside, you go out the front and kind of make your way in the alley around. This is the part of town when buildings are still fairly close together, right? This is kind of the one strip that was left kind of commercial when it was converted into farmland. And you make your way, and you do see a guy kind of, and he has to hold himself up. And you can make a medicine check on him as well as he's walking by you.
5.
And he just like, and just yaks right on the ground in front of you. And you don't know what it is, but you back up and step away. And he looks at you with these pupils that are just his whole eyes.
Is he supposed to be the pusher?
And just keeps walking over to the street.
Okay, I was like...
You don't know. He came from, you're on the side of the building. He came from the back.
Yeah, I think I'll keep going to the back.
Yeah, you turn around, and you, as you're getting closer, right? As you're getting closer, you start to hear a conversation, and you recognize the voice that's speaking. And it's Jeffrey.
Knew it.
And he's chatting up his girl, and he's like, you know, baby, it's pretty much all gone now, but we still got our little... No, and you hear Tracy, who you also know from the run, her voice going, I don't know about this, Jeff. I don't know if I feel good about it. He's like, well, ain't that the thing about it? Because this is what makes you feel good, you know. And as you walk around the corner, Tracy's like, neither of them immediately notice you. It's very dark back there. And his hand is like up, kind of blocking both of their faces a little bit on the wall as her back is against the wall. And they both look rather disheveled. Like they've been maybe tussling around back there a little bit. And you also notice 2 people just laying on the ground, like totally out.
Fuck. Hey, sorry to interrupt.
Jeffrey drops his arm, and his eyes also like entirely pupils, even in the whole thing, as he's just like big, wide-eyed. Tracy's a little bit too. She's staggering a little bit, but doesn't quite look as like off or as alert as Jeffrey looks. And he goes, "Oh, that's right. I saw you earlier. I know you like to party. I don't have a lot left, but if you come on over, you can get a bump of something."
Why don't you tell me what's on the menu for tonight?
What do you want? I got spree here, baby. If you wanna, you're gonna get wild.
Got opium?
Oh no! Who wants to feel down when you can feel so up?
Helps me sleep. You never know.
Sorry. No.
That spree of yours, where did you get it?
The spree? The usual places, you know.
Is that like normal spree behavior? Like such dramatic changes?
Make a medicine check.
Can I just say, I'm so fucking creeped out right now. I'm just sitting here, like, dying.
Was
like,
that what you
worried.
expected, Mike, for tonight?
No, and it's just so unsettling. It's great. Sorry.
With a
Geeking
16,
over here.
Rhea has all of the good rolls for this session. Rhea, so he's taken a shitload. Like, he's taken it more than once.
Okay.
Spree is an upper, right? It is like think of taking like speed and just continuing to take speed.
Okay.
So he is like alert and wide-eyed and wild. Looking kind of at sorry, what's her name here? Tracy. Tracy is kind of like she's probably drunk, right? And maybe has taken a little bit of other stuff, but he is like fully on spree, where like he can barely blink his eyes.
You know, Jeffrey, your sweetheart seems to be a bit worried about you. Why don't you just give me whatever you have left and I'll sell it for you?
I'm not looking to sell. You can have some if you want. And he takes these. And he what is? I guess we didn't decide because we didn't use it as much in the setup yet. But what is spree? What do we think spree is?
Powder. You're muted, Andre.
Imagined it as like the tube. You guys know how like you have a pixie stick.
Yeah.
Like I think it's like a can. It's like some kind of candy. It's weird.
I think it's like a pixie stick, and you put it under your tongue, so it just like you do with those vitamin C tablets, so it gets soaked up quicker.
Yep.
So yeah, he has these like little pixie stick like tubes of spray, and his hand's kind of shaking as he goes and drops a couple on the ground. One of them falls on the guy at his feet.
Can
That's
I try to
just
pick
out
them up
right
before
now.
they fall?
Yeah, you go over and you catch it. Here, and he just dumps like a handful of spray in your hand.
Shit, Jeffrey, you're just giving all of this up?
Yeah. I did all right today, and me and Tracy, we got a plan.
A plan, you say?
Yeah. We ain't gonna need none of that. I took his. I wanted to taste some for the last time, but I won't need it no more.
Are you talking about Dream?
I don't. Well, and he kind of looks at the people at his feet, and he's like, I didn't have as much of the D, but and he pulls out this little pod. It almost looks like it's like a Tide Pod. All the kids are doing it these days. It's like this pod.
God, those taste so good.
Yeah, it's tasty. He pulls out a pod and he says, "Did you want a hit?"
No. And she kind of gets closer. Puts her hand on Tracy's shoulder, very like gently, right?
Tracy kind of pulls away. Like that's her
That's
reaction.
okay. That's okay.
Yeah,
and Rhea starts walking closer to Jeffrey.
He's still like right next to Tracy. He's like, I think his hip is against her. That's how close he is, because he was like right in her face.
And Rhea puts one finger on his chest. They go, be mindful with that.
He leans in to kiss you.
And she backs away.
Yeah, he like pulls one of those, like you got close to a guy that's fucked up, and he like leans in. You like step by, she's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I think her first
reading it.
Her first reflex is to step away, and like after she realized what just happened, she takes her whole hand and puts it to his throat and yanks him towards her. And they go, keep that shit away from Vogue. Am I being clear?
Nah. If he don't want it, I ain't pushing it on
I don't
nobody.
care whether he wants it or not. Keep that shit away from him.
Yeah, and he kind of pushes himself away from you a little bit, and like leans against the building right next to Tracy, whose head kind of lolls to the side for a second, like as she straightens it back up. And he's like, I knew you. I knew you'd like to party too. And he takes this pod and puts it right next to Tracy's nose and squeezes it as this powder puffs up in her face, and her eyes go wide for a sec, and a little bit of foam comes out of the side of her mouth, and she fucking drops to the ground.
Fuck, Jeffrey, what did you do? I think Rhea starts to leg it because she doesn't want to be next. Like, they think he's like, they can't read him, so she'd rather just leg it.
What do you want? I'm holding big time, baby.
She's out.
Yeah, as you leave, you hear him yell from behind. We got some time left! I don't got a pop yet!
That's so creepy, man!
As you head back to the front of the building.
Rhea makes sure to, like, hide the, not the opium, the spree. Like, in her bra and shit. Wherever it fits.
Yeah, you have this spray and you stick it in your shirt, and Rhea heads back in.
Vogue just happens to be right by the door. Did you get it?
Yeah. I think Vogue is as you walk, because I want to set up the scene too. Mina, how receptive of Lana's advances would Mina be?
Mina doesn't totally understand that's what Lana wants. I think she has something she wants to ask her, so she's willing to entertain it to an extent because what she would like to ask Lana is kind of important to her.
Yeah, and I think as you are, and she's like close to you, and it's like, "Oh, darling, you got a little something there," and she just like licks your forehead, like straight up with her bristly like cat tongue, just like lick something off of your forehead.
That's very nice.
And I think that's the moment that walks in. But go ahead.
Do you know anyone who looks like me?
Like a little bald girl?
Like the ears? Mom doesn't talk about my dad a lot, but I think he was like you.
You think he was a tabaxi?
No. No, I think he was like from somewhere else and then maybe is like still out there somewhere or something.
Well, I know not. It's now you from up here in Parsa, darling?
I was born here, yes.
It's a hard road to get up this way. I was with a caravan, and not everyone coming up mountain made it. Which, from my understanding, is how it kind of goes most of the time.
I've never been outside of this. I've never been outside of the run, so I don't really know anything.
Oh, well, this city's mighty beautiful, and it's just bigger than the place I came from. This one city, I gotta say. But Gujar, a city down the mountain. Well, lots of people come out there all the time. Plenty of elfkin. Some of my kind. Very eclectic. Although I gotta say this, back where I'm from, people don't take so kindly to goblins as they do around here.
Where are you from? If you don't mind me asking.
Give me another persuasion at disadvantage.
I love it. I'll do these all day. I'll do all the persuasion disadvantages you want.
Let's go!
I mean, a charm
17 and
finally
18.
came through.
She
is like just very like she's a little bit scared, but this is extremely important to her, and she's willing to risk it.
Yeah, and I also think like you're just so like you exude this like sweetness and innocence, and she is like now coming down a little bit, and if you notice me, sinking down past my screen, like that's kind of what's going on with Lana as she's there too, and she's trying to like using her hand to hold her face up on the bar as she's now having the spree that she was taken, but now is fucking it up with some serious alcohol too. And she looks at you and says, I'm from a tiny little village on a lake, off on an island. People don't take too kind to my kind around there. I thought it was time to get out. So I booked myself on a dragonborn ship and came westward. Everyone said this was the place to be, and so far, I gotta say, I've been mighty excited to be here. People are so friendly.
You seem very nice, Lana, and I hope that you find what it is you're looking for here.
Your friend, the one with the horns.
There's two
Sorry,
of us.
the one with the
Which
horns
one?
that's not a goat.
She did a curly. Is this or?
And she grabs you by the shoulder and says, Don't get too close to her, kind. They think they run everything.
Okay. Rhea is really nice, though. She helped me out earlier today.
They think they can own you.
Are you staying somewhere? Do you want to stay? You can stay with me and my mom if you want.
No, darling, I got myself a little place. You see that gentleman down the end of the bar, the hobgoblin playing grab ass with the bartender. I'm staying with him tonight, as long as he still remembers that.
I would like to sneak something by her if I can.
Okay.
But I don't know if I need to.
Not a huge DC. What are you going to try to do?
I will take the pin with her like charcoal off of my dress and I'll pin it to her back. And I'll whisper as I touch it. Water and drought, dry land and flood, heart to heart and blood to blood. And I'll just pin it on to her back.
Yeah, I think easy enough. She seems to be gratified with physical contact in any way.
Like a cat, she kind of like.
Oh man.
Yeah, like a cat and arching of the back, and just someone that needs that kind of closeness and warmth. From
Does she
someone
react
that
to the rhyme?
doesn't react to it. And you hear, you hear Rhea Vogue second you walk in say, "Did you get it?"
Rhea takes the one that she stored in her pocket, and they put it in front of Vogue. And with their other hands, they kind of trace the cheek in, like that. Have fun.
Love you. And he'll grab the spree and kind of back towards the corner, make sure no one's really grilling him.
Yeah.
Bite the edge of it off and pour under his tongue. And you
Yeah,
see
and
that his somewhat normal pupils just horizontalize and extend like a goat's for a second or two, and then bloom up into the full
Yeah,
effect.
and for you, it's this familiar feeling like pop rocks, little tiny pop rocks under the tongue, as you feel it just absorbing, and your jaw goes just a little bit numb for a little while as this is happening with your eyes. And I think for you, it's just so gratifying.
Waiting all day for this. And he'll step forward, clomping extremely loud as if tap dancing. And he'll dance towards Rhea, like doing a staccato beat with his hooves on the floor, not really caring if anyone's paying attention at this point. Let's dance.
Sure, they'll dance a little jig, would you?
All right. And he'll just start, like, his energy level immediately replenishes. He doesn't give a fuck about his problems anymore, and he'll tap dance with whoever's interested.
I think Rhea, she twirls around on the floor. She's just having fun.
Yeah.
It's a party tonight.
And as you guys start dancing, kind of soundlessly, like without music,
There's not
Just
music.
the beat of the hooves.
it's just people talking, and you're
boring.
just Lana turns around and she sits up a little straighter and a little forward, and she starts singing. She sings, "Moon river wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday." And just starts this like beautiful tune that this staccato rhythm that you're doing turns into like this waltz that she sings soundlessly, and everyone
Tap, 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 tap. He'll
yeah.
change his gait.
and everyone kind of gets quiet. And I don't know that you two are professional dancers in any way.
No.
But still, you get this round of applause as she finishes the song with "Moon, River, and Me."
Beautiful. Beautiful, Lana.
While this is happening, Matt, I just want. I think Mina is worried about Lana, and can she just look over at the guy she's saying? Jeff, is it Jeffrey at the end of the bar that she pointed to?
No,
it's
Jeffrey's out.
Chauncey.
Jeffrey's out back.
Not Jeffrey. Who is the guy? Who is?
Chauncey.
Chauncey.
Can I just like try to look at? Can I get a read on Chauncey?
Yeah. Give me an insight on Chauncey, who I'll describe. He's this hobgoblin, pretty broad, right? And he's dressed kind of like in, I don't know, what's the medieval version of a suit? He's wearing kind of like
Doublet? Like a doublet.
yeah, and that is meant to look
With hose.
meant to look.
He's wearing
more,
my starting bard character in Baldur's Gate 3 wears
Yeah.
every single time.
100% meant to look nicer than it is, but he does have like gold and earrings and piercings, and he has like a chain of a pocket watch. But looking at him, you don't think there's a pocket watch attached to that chain. And he is drunk, right? He has been having very strong alcohol and a lot of it all night, and he has been trying to grab at any woman that passes him, and hasn't even noticed really Lana since she first sat down, because he is just it's almost like he has tunnel vision and not good distance. Like whoever's closest gets his attention, and he's throwing around money and trying to look like a big shot.
That's my
Gotcha.
boss.
I think that Mina would at this point go over to the Vogue and Rhea. That was wonderful. You're great dancers.
Oh. Just for fun.
Why don't you join us for the next one?
Couldn't. I should really be getting home.
Home so early. Only just starting.
I know. I'm not feeling well from the eels, I think.
Oh. We got something that'll fix you right up.
Vogue. No, we don't.
Oh, okay. You do?
Water. Water's the best remedy, you know?
Love water. I love water. Yeah.
Right as rain you'll be. Just drink up.
Okay. I'll take a drink of water. Sure.
You want to sit down, perhaps?
You hear a scream from outside.
Hey! Someone's having a good time.
Fuck.
Would Mina clock a change in Vogue? Like, is his behavior is different then, or is it not that obvious enough?
Insight or medicine, your choice. Which one are you better at?
Mina is definitely better medicine. Definitely better
Okay,
medicine.
yeah,
Not
roll
close.
medicine. Roll
Yeah,
medicine.
it's not
Gosh
close.
darn it.
So
You don't notice.
it should
notice-
be pretty noticeable if I might interject as the player in question. You saw him itching at himself, you saw him tapping the bar incessantly, you saw his eyes darting everywhere. And
He
now
seems more
he's
relaxed. Yeah.
he's actually having a good time now, whereas before he was really tense.
And I think on that low insight that I rolled, I think Mina interprets that. Like, she sees that, but she interprets it as, oh, he's really happy about the money. Like, he's really happy we made some money. Because I think that otherwise, like, yeah, I think that's, like, she gets the right data, but it, like, draws the wrong conclusion from it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. But what was that? Should we go see if someone's in trouble?
Well, if anything, it will be a good story to tell, yeah?
Yeah.
Sure, we can go check it out. And I think Rhea sounds apprehensive.
I think Mina's trying to convince herself that this is a good idea. It does not feel that way necessarily.
When trouble comes to town, you want Rhea around. That's what I've been saying.
Right. I think I'm the trouble usually. Let's go check it out.
You step outside, and in the middle of the road, a little bit of a crowd forming around her. You see Tracy. Dirty, muddy from being on the ground, wide-eyed, and hysterical and crying. And her tears come out as blood.
Ooh.
Red streaks down her face as she's trying to wipe it away. And just looking towards the alley.
Rhea will go in the alley.
Rhea steps into the alley.
Better. better follow. Vogue
you
really doesn't want to, but he will.
And you see, backlit from the alley, where there was no light before, but one must have been lit, flickering like a torch that has been dropped on the ground, casting a shadow upward onto the next building beside. You see a figure walking. Seems to be lumbering, as all you see is this shadow cast, flickering. And then, much smaller, the actual figure emerges from the side building. And it's Jeffrey. And Jeffrey has a dagger in his hand.
Matt, be
As he's
careful. I
walking.
only have 4 HP, okay?
And as he's turning, he's on this kind of hot, fairly warm night. He's like giving himself a haircut. And you can see most of his head, about 3/4 of it, is already cut off with just random strands of his what was longer hair just still sticking out. And you notice as he's doing it, he's taking scalp with it. And just dropping it on the ground. And you hear him yelling out, Tracy! Tracy, we shared a whole life together! Those kids? When you got sick? We can't throw all that away. As someone who is under the effect of what is called a waking dream. They've taken dream and lived a whole life through, only in their mind, like an illusion that lasts for decades. He's lived a whole life and died. It seems Tracy was in this illusion as well. And he's waking up and can't separate that from unreality. And often, dream is merciful and kills you before you wake. And sometimes you only kind of wake up from it. As he walks around bleeding from his head, brandishing a knife. What do you do?
I throw an eel at him.
You throw what at him?
I throw an eel at him.
And
An eel? Make a dexterity check.
Attack rolls have a +2.
God
two.
damn,
Alright.
y'all suck tonight.
That 2 will be a 4. As you throw it, and it actually hits into Riowin and just slaps her in the back of the neck like this.
Rhea, you should go. I think we should go.
Mina, it's hardly the time for jokes right now. Could you not throw eels at me?
Yeah, he has a knife.
So do I.
Listen, it doesn't need to get ugly. You gotta drop that knife, okay? Why are you cutting your head? What are you doing?
You did it.
No, I just got out here.
She was my child! And runs at you. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Can I try to interfere? Like, put a leg out, something?
What do you try to do? I still want the dexterity saving throw, but you can tell me what you do.
Am I in the way? Like,
You're kind of next to each other, yeah.
if I see him start to lunge at him,
Yeah.
Rhea will try to beat him and go a few steps further, and she'll try to trip him.
Yeah, Vogwai jumps out of the way. You can make an athletics check to try to shove him out of the ground.
10.
It's a 10. He jumps over your leg and dives with a knife. Vogue jumps out of the way as the knife just skitters off the side of the building. People around gasp. You hear, "Get someone to help!"
Can I take advantage of the fact that, like, he's, you know, how he lunged, he probably, like, not failed,
You
but-
already kind of took an action, I'm gonna say. Actually, at this point, you all, including him, I guess you all took an action. Mina threw a fish. I guess Vogue, you can do something yourself. I mean, this was in reaction to him, but you can.
So having just dodged him on instinct,
Yeah.
the instinct continues and the goat kicks behind with a hoof.
Yeah. Roll to hit.
I'll just roll something in +2. 19.
Ooh, finally!
Yeah. You do. You hit him in the side, and he slams into the side of the building. As he does, it kind of like hits his head, and you hear a crunch. As he turns, and like his eye is like swollen in, and actually his head looks like it's like caved in over his eye a little bit, and but he still turns towards you.
Oh shit!
And he looks around. While he's looking around, Mina, roll a d3 for me, so I can see who he's, or a d4 even, because he might not be looking at any of you, although you're all close.
4.
A 4. He says, "The candy-colored man they call the Sandman tiptoes in my room every night," and lunges towards Tracy and stabs her in the throat. As Tracy just tries to yell, just and just falls on the ground.
Can I take my knife and try to stab him in the brain?
Yeah,
I
roll
was
to
gonna say, I'd like to stab him back.
As she does that, I just want to I think Mina just acts on pure instinct, grabs her the little dagger she was using to deflate the fish earlier, and just jumps at him and tries to fucking hit him.
Yeah, give yourself a +2 to hit.
That's a 9 to hit, man.
That's a 9. It's still not gonna do it. You see Mina now with a knife out, lunging at this man who just jumps out of the way. And why don't you make a dex save too, as he tries to kick out at you in reflex.
That's a 10.
Yeah, you do get out of the way of his foot. I think you crouch down. At this point, Lana is out here. A lot of people from the bar are out here. People are screaming. They're not sure what to do. You do hear someone looks over at Riowen and yells, "Oh god, it's the famine! Run!" And some people take off running.
That's so cool! Sorry.
What do you do?
Rio, we need to run. It's time. This is getting bad.
Fuck.
All right, take a point of inspiration for that. Come on, go for it. Leaning into the goat.
I think Vogue says that as Rhea was preparing to throw her knife to Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
And as they see the panic in Vogue's, as they hear the panic in Vogue's voice, she starts to leg it. Yeah.
Okay. You start to run. What is everyone else doing?
Is Tracy still alive, or is she dead?
Her eyes are open, and she's gasping as blood pours from her throat.
Actually, can I ask before I confirm if I start running or not? Is there is authority likely to come interfere right now in this part of the run?
What does that mean?
Well, first of all, is there any sorts of authority in the run, like soldiers, guards?
There's lots of authorities.
No,
There's
but
city guard.
lawful ones.
Lots of authorities. There's no city guard.
Yeah, no, I'll run. I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay. All right. Rhea starts running. What are the other two of you doing?
Vogue's also running.
Vogue takes off with Rhea. Mina, what do you do?
I think the sight of someone dying in front of her is too much for Mina, and I think she just freezes.
Can I yank her as I run? Is she in my way?
I think you've already gone.
Okay.
I think you were the first one to take off.
Yeah.
And Mina is frozen. And you see Jeffrey, bleeding scalp with bits of hair exposed, wide-eyed, bloody knife, starts walking towards you. Sorry. Okay, that's 22 is a pretty good roll. As he walks towards you, and lifts the knife up, all of a sudden, a dagger you see pierce out of the front of his throat, from the back of his neck.
would look to the source of where that might have come from, I think.
You see Lana has hiked up her pink skirt, and with knives strapped to her thigh, threw it true immediately right at him. And as he like falls to his knees, like fighting death that should have taken him, as right next to him, Tracy's eyes are open and lifeless. Lana runs down and looks at her and says, "Girl, you gotta go. You run!"
I do. Yeah, when she says that, I take off.
And as the three of you, Mina falling a bit behind, run down the street from this gruesome scene. We're gonna end it there
Ah.
for the evening.
Guys, I missed you so much. Let me just say that.
Oh my god, feels
Tonight
so
was
good.
insane.
This is good. Yep.
This game was like that first hit of spree.
Ah, yeah.
I was scared. Like, Mina was scared, and also I was scared. I was like, I'm very uncomfortable.
I just love how everything played out. There's not one thing I would change.
It's like that feeling of when you're at a party and it starts to, like, go bad, and
Yep.
you know it's coming, and you're like... Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
It's so happening.
Hey.
Plug it. Yeah, should we plug the next thing, or I don't know?
You all level up for the next session.
Let's go!
Level up to 1.
Level 1, baby!
For those of you that have watched, thank you so much. This is certainly not the first campaign I've played with these beautiful people, but it is the first campaign we are doing as Table's Edge. Our goal is to do really character-based stories, really leaning into roleplay and theater of the mind. We will not be using virtual tabletops with little minis that we move around squares. That's not so much the thing. And we want to have fun and make you pee your piddles a little bit
Just a little.
every once in a while.
Just enough.
For tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
The
not
most
every
brilliant and handsome and beautiful people will really understand this problem.
yes.
So if you're one of them, congratulations.
Yeah, especially if you're brilliant and truly a handsome individual.
Rare
It's gonna
combo.
put it over the edge. Rare combo. Although tell me this is true. On our streams, tends to be most people. I mean,
Yeah.
do you find? I mean, it's weird. Statistically,
The ratio is like,
unlikely, but it's,
we're like 2 standard deviations above the mean.
Yeah.
yeah, it's crazy. And if you like statistics, boy. So let me see. I gotta look at the calendar. This was session 0 of this campaign. Session 1, we will be doing. It's a while away, guys. It is the Sunday the 10th.
The 10th of September.
Sunday, September 10th. 1, 2, 3 full weeks away. In the meantime, we are going to be putting up for your viewing pleasure some one-shots and other adventures that we did. You can watch our sessions. I think there's 5 sessions of Kingdom,
Yeah.
the world-building game that we played to create Grunion Run.
Yeah, if you noticed us recognizing a lot of the names and
Yeah.
locations that came up, it's because of the Kingdom game. So if you want in on the action, then check those out.
Yeah, and the idea of this campaign is the whole thing, for the most part, really is going to be based in this city of Parsa, which is, I mean, it's the size of like a kingdom, right? But it's considered a single city here at the top of this this tall mountain. And I am very excited for it.
Oh, me too.
Especially after tonight, I'm like, damn.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's definitely
It's-
I was like,
Alright.
fuck.
Yeah, our first view of your characters. I'm psyched. I'm psyched. I really am.
thrilled to be here. Thank you, Matt. Well done.
Yeah,
So much.
yeah. Thank you,
Lovely
everybody.
emphases today.
Thank you, everyone, for watching. And come back to our table next time.
We should roll HP before we go.
You don't
shit.
roll HP for level
We
1.
should roll HP for level 1.
Ooh,
Wait,
I gotta
we
look
roll
up the
for
hit dice.
No,
No, we
it's
don't roll.
automatic. It's automatic. It's just
It's on that. All right, you guys, thank you for watching. Everyone go play Baldur's Gate. Have fun.
Yeah.
yeah, you fuckers, you degenerates.
Good night.
Good night.